Hey there. So, your financial advisor calls you up and says, hey, you really should do a Roth conversion. And maybe you've heard this before, your brother-in-law won't stop talking about it at dinner, every YouTube video seems to be pushing it, and the internet is full of articles saying 2026 is the year to act. So you think, okay, this must be a no-brainer, right? Well, here's the thing. Roth conversions are one of the most talked about retirement strategies in the country right now. And for some people, they genuinely are brilliant. But for a surprisingly large number of retirees, people who have done everything right, blindly rushing into a Roth conversion in 2026 could actually cost them tens of thousands of dollars they didn't even know they were losing. So in this video, we're going to cover what a Roth conversion actually is and why everyone is obsessed with it right now. The real math behind why smart retirees are pumping the brakes, the hidden costs that nobody talks about until it's too late, and exactly who should and who should not convert. Let's get started. Section 1. What is a Roth conversion and why is everyone talking about it? First, let's make sure we're all on the same page. A traditional IRA or 401k is like a deal you made with the government when you were working. You said, I'll put money in now, skip paying taxes on it today, and pay later when I take it out in retirement. The government said, deal. So every dollar's sitting in your traditional IRA. The government is waiting to collect its cut when you eventually pull it out. A Roth IRA is the opposite deal. You pay tax on the money now, put it in, and then everything that grows inside it, every dollar, every gain, comes out completely tax-free in retirement. No taxes on withdrawal ever. A Roth conversion is simply moving money from the first bucket to the second one. You take money out of your traditional IRA, pay income tax on it today, and drop it into a Roth. The government gets paid now, and in exchange, you never owe them again on that money. Sounds amazing, right? So why is everyone so obsessed with doing this specifically right now in 2026? The short answer, tax brackets. The Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017 lowered income tax rates for basically every American. And for years, experts warned those rates were set to expire at the end of 2025, meaning 2026 would bring higher taxes and Roth conversions would become more expensive. So financial advisors across the country were saying, convert now before rates go up. But here's the plot twist. In July 2025, Congress passed the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which permanently extended those lower tax brackets. The rate increases everyone was panicking about? They didn't happen. The 12%, 22%, 24% brackets, they're locked in for the foreseeable future, so the emergency is over. But should you still convert? That depends on something much more personal than tax policy. And that's where the real math comes in. Section 2. The classic argument and why it's incomplete. Here's the logic that drives most people toward a Roth conversion. Let's use a simple example. Meet Margaret. She's 65, just retired, and has $800,000 sitting in a traditional IRA. She has no income right now, no Social Security yet, no pension, nothing. So this year, her taxable income is basically zero. That means she can convert a chunk of that IRA, say $50,000, pay a fairly low tax rate on it today, and move it into a Roth, where it grows tax-free forever. And when she turns 73, she'll be forced to start taking required minimum distributions, or RMDs, from her traditional IRA. RMDs are mandatory withdrawals the government makes you take whether you need the money or not. And if Margaret hasn't done any conversions, her $800,000 could grow to over $1.2 million by then, and her RMDs could push her into a much higher tax bracket, taxing money she doesn't even need to spend right now. So the argument is, convert now at a low rate to avoid paying more later at a high rate. Clean logic, and for Margaret, in that specific situation, it genuinely works. But here's where it breaks down for a lot of people. The math of a Roth conversion only truly works in one condition. You must pay tax at a lower rate today than you would pay in the future. That's it. That's the whole equation. And for many retirees, that condition isn't as clear as it looks. Section 3. The hidden costs nobody talks about. This is the section that can save you thousands of dollars. Because when most people calculate the cost of a Roth conversion, they only think about one thing, their income tax rate. What they completely miss are 3 other tax traps that get silently triggered the moment the conversion income shows up on their return. Hidden cost. Number 1, Medicare IRMAA surcharges. If you're on Medicare, this one can blindside you completely. Medicare has something called IRMAA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. It's an extra surcharge added to your Medicare Part B and Part D premiums if your income exceeds certain thresholds. And here's the critical part. Medicare uses your income from 2 years ago to calculate what you pay today. So if you do a large Roth conversion in 2026, Medicare looks at that income in 2028 and hits you with a surcharge. Before you even realize the connection, in 2026, the IRMAA thresholds for married couples filing jointly start at $218,000 in income. If your conversion pushes you just $1 over that line, the surcharge kicks in immediately. We're talking about an extra $284 to nearly $690 per month in additional Medicare Part B premiums alone, per person. For a couple, crossing the wrong threshold by just $1 can cost over $2,000 in extra premiums for that entire year. Not over time, in that single year. And these thresholds are cliffs, not slopes. There's no gradual increase. You either stay under the line or you fall off the edge. Hidden cost. Number 2, Social Security taxation. Did you know that up to 85% of your Social Security income can become taxable, depending on your total income? Most people don't think about this when they plan a conversion. Here's how it works. The government calculates something called your provisional income, your regular income plus half of your Social Security benefit. Once that number crosses $44,000 for a married couple, up to 85% of your Social Security is taxed. A Roth conversion adds directly to this number. So if you convert $60,000 this year, you might not just pay tax on that $60,000. You might also suddenly owe taxes on an extra portion of your Social Security that you wouldn't have owed otherwise. The effective tax rate on that conversion is now higher than the bracket you're in, because you're paying tax on your conversion income and indirectly increasing how much of your Social Security gets taxed at the same time. Hidden cost. Number 3, your state tax bill. Federal brackets get all the attention, but if you live in a state with a high income tax, think California at around 13% or New York close behind, your Roth conversion doesn't just cost you federal tax, it costs you state tax on top of that. A 22% federal rate becomes closer to 35% when your state's cut is added in. Now, some states have no income tax at all. Texas, Florida, Nevada, Washington. If you're in one of those states, this isn't your problem. But if you're not, you have to run the real number, not just the federal one. Taken together, these 3 hidden costs can easily turn what looked like a 22% conversion into an effective rate of 35%. 40% or even higher, and most people never see it coming until the tax bill arrives. Section 4. So, when does a Roth conversion not make sense? Let's be very direct here. There are specific situations where skipping a Roth conversion, one or doing far less than you were advised, is the smarter move. Situation 1. Your tax rate today is already as high as it's going to be. This sounds obvious, but many people miss it. If you're converting while you're still earning a pension, or while both spouses are collecting full Social Security, or while you're still doing part-time work, your income might already be high. In that case, paying tax on a big conversion today at 24% or 32%, only to find that your required withdrawals in retirement would have been taxed at 22%, means you overpaid. You handed the government money early for no benefit. Situation 2. You're already deep into RMD age and your time horizon is short. A Roth conversion is, at its core, an upfront investment. You pay tax now in exchange for benefits later, but later has to actually arrive. For someone in their late 70s or 80s, the break-even point on a large conversion might be 15 to 20 years away. If you're not planning to live that long, nor if the money is going to your heirs regardless, the math gets shaky fast. Situation 3. You plan to give a significant portion of your money to charity. There is a strategy called a qualified charitable distribution, or QCD, where people over age 70 and a half can donate directly from their IRA to a charity, up to $111,000 in 2026 and pay zero tax on that withdrawal. If you're a generous giver and you're planning to donate anyway, Converting that money to a Roth first, paying tax on it, and then donating it is just wasteful. The QCD strategy does the same thing without the tax bill. Situation 4. You'd have to pay the conversion tax from the IRA itself. This is where a lot of people quietly destroy the math of a Roth conversion without realizing it. The conversion only truly works well if you can pay the tax bill from money outside the retirement account, from a savings account, a brokerage account, somewhere else. Why? Because if you convert $100,000 and you have to pull $22,000 out of the IRA itself to pay the taxes, you've effectively converted only $78,000 to Roth. That $22,000 never got to grow tax-free, and you lost years of compounding on it. For retirees who are tight on outside liquid cash, this one detail can quietly eliminate most of the benefit of converting. Section 5. So, when does it actually work? After everything we've covered, you might be wondering, is there anyone for whom this is still a great idea? Absolutely. And the math is genuinely compelling. In the right situation, the ideal Roth conversion candidate looks like this. You've recently retired, you're somewhere between age 62 and 72, you have not yet started Social Security, and your RMDs haven't begun yet. In this window, what financial planners call the gap years, your taxable income has dropped off a cliff. You're living on savings, maybe some investment income, but no salary and no forced withdrawals yet. This is the lowest tax bracket you will probably see for the rest of your life. Every year you let that window pass without converting is what experts call bracket space permanently lost. Because once Social Security starts and once RMDs begin kicking in at 73, your income goes back up. And it often pushes into higher brackets than people expect, especially as the IRA grows year after year untouched. The strategy that works best in this window is not converting everything at once. It's what planners call bracket filling. Each year, you look at how much room you have before hitting the next tax bracket, and you convert exactly that much, filling your 12% bracket, your 22% bracket, up to whatever threshold is smart, staying safely under the IRMAA cliff, and staying under the Social Security taxation threshold. You do this for several years, slowly moving money at low rates, like draining a bathtub slowly instead of dumping it all at once. For a married couple in 2026 with no other income, the 12% bracket has room for roughly $133,000 of conversions. That's $133,000 moved at 12% or less. Done across 10 years, that's over $1 million shifted to Roth at historically low tax rates, before RMDs force larger, more expensive withdrawals from an account that never stopped growing. That's the strategy that works. Slow, deliberate, and calibrated to your specific numbers every single year. So, in conclusion, Roth conversions are not inherently good or bad. They are a tool. And like any tool, what matters is whether you're using it correctly for your specific situation. The old urgency, convert everything before 2026 because rates are going up, is gone. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act locked in the current tax brackets permanently, which changes the calculus entirely. The case for converting no longer rests on a deadline. It rests on your personal numbers. What bracket you're converting at today, what bracket you'll be in when withdrawals happen, how Medicare IRMAA interacts with your income, how Social Security taxation layers in, and whether you have enough outside cash to pay the conversion tax without cannibalizing the IRA. If someone is pushing you toward a large, fast Roth conversion without running those numbers carefully, bracket by bracket, year by year, IRMAA cliff included, be cautious. Because the move that saves one person $200,000 in lifetime taxes can cost another person $50,000 in unnecessary bills they never saw coming. Smart retirees don't skip Roth conversions because Roth conversions are bad. They skip, or slow down, conversions because they did the real math first. And when you do the real math, sometimes the answer is not now, not this much, not at this rate. And that's not being timid, that's being smart. If you want me to make other videos explaining these topics, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.